Welcome to this video on how to cite. I'll be showing you how to use the Stellenbosch bib option to create in-text citations and your list of references. So as always, I've just got a basic, most basic example here, begin document class article, begin document, end document, and just hello world. And the PDF is just hello world on a single page. So from this, we need to use some packages, in this case specifically the Stellenbosch bib package, and then we also need to bring in our own bib file. So I'm going to start with the documentation here. So you can just search Stellenbosch cite and then select the Stellenbosch 2 option. And then in here we've got general documentation, but in this case we're interested in the stb-bib package documentation. So there's a lot here, and I recommend as always that you take a look at it. Maybe not read through it like a book, but there's some good examples here to help you out. So for example, if you want to cite an article, there's an example here of what we need. And then there's also some more obscure ones. So let's say, for example, at the end here, if you want to cite something that's not published yet, or a tech report or whatever. What we're interested in is under 1.2, the sort of most basic example of what we need to include in our document to be able to use a bib file and to create our bibliography and use it in text. So in this case, apart from document class and begin and end document, which you've already got, we need to use package stb-bib, and then we can choose one of two styles over here, and I'll show you what those two styles or how they look different. And then we need to put in our bib text file, create that, and bring that into the document. Just quick here, we've got NatBib options. If you're interested in that and you want to get some custom stuff set up, you can just search NatBib documentation and then cite and package NatBib, and then again you can go into all the package documentation, and again everything that you want is in there. Alright, so let's get started with setting our document up. So I'm just going to copy this straight from here into our document. I'll clean it up because we're not using any options. So we've got use package stb-bib, and then we'll start off with the style. And then we also need to include our bibliography file. So at the bottom of the document we can say bibliography. And in this case I've called it custom bibliography file. The reason I did that is so that you can see that this doesn't need to be a standard name. Most of the time you'll see people call it bibliography.bib, but you can call it whatever you want. So in this case, custom bibliography file, and that is basically it. Let me indent this. So you've got your text, your bibliography file, and you said you're using the Stellenbosch package and you want this style. Okay. But we still don't have anything to put in the bibliography. So how I usually use this is if I've got some article, so I just Google something random, use of artificial intelligence in education, and then over here you can go cite and then export bib. So here I'll export it to a .bib file, but that's you'll usually be building a .bib file with lots of sort of citations in them or articles in them. So I always just copy it out into a single file. Now I've got that file set up already, but when I downloaded it, so this is just a text file that I pasted it into. It looks like this. You can see there's a lot here. It's got all the info, but some things like I don't want the abstract in here, so you can get rid of that. And then usually keywords can sometimes, or this note can sometimes also appear in your list of references, which is annoying. So sometimes I just get rid of those as well. And then you'll see it comes up with a random number or a name or something at the top. Now this first entry is your key. So when you're citing something in your document, you'll use this key. So this is not very useful to me. A bunch of random numbers when I've got a document of 50, 60 or whatever references. I'm not going to remember what each number is. So convention that I recommend you stick to is, I've actually done already, is to use the first three authors' surnames and the year. So if I go to my actual Oh, I don't have it. Okay, let me do it. I thought I'd copied it over. So as you can see, the authors are down here. So I'm gonna do the I'm gonna do the first three authors separated by underscores and the year. What's the second order? Earth author of there we go. ChatGPT helping me, or GitHub Copilot started helping me out there. So now that's sort of my key. When I call it, I'll use that. And I found this convention of using the first three surnames and the year to be quite robust. Obviously, if there's not three authors, you just first one or second one. But if there's more, I don't usually go for more than three. Okay, so let me copy this over into my actual bib files because this is just in a .txt. So I'll put that over there, and then depending on what editor you use, when you've got a big document, it helps to be able to sort of collapse those, and then you can just see what's going on a bit clearer. Okay, so I'm going to copy that over, and then let me save and close this file. Okay, then in our document we've got, I'm going to show you two commands, but again you can look at the Stellenbosch bib documentation to know what other commands you can use if need be. So the first one that I'll show you is the cite. So I'm going to say that's a textual citation according to, and then I like to use tilde / cite t, and then that key that we just copied. AI is the future. So this is sort of a typical way to use cite is when you're sort of talking about the authors within that sentence. You want to sort of refer directly to them with your sentence. And then again, this is dependent on what editor you use to compile your documents. There's a specific order that we need to follow in compiling it. Now, a lot of editors will do this automatically, but if you don't and you use a terminal like myself, then you need to first build your article, then you need to do the bibtex, and then you need to do your article twice. That seems a bit long, and if you want to know more about it, you can go into the bibtex documentation and just go read all about that. But again, most editors should, when you click run, it always does this order for you in any case. So in my case, I'm just going to first, I use PDF Latex, and then how to cite.txt. That'll run, and then I say bibtex how to cite. It'll give me a warning because there's no book title, but that's okay. And then again, PDF Latex how to cite. Errors always fun. Let me just quickly delete that. I found that was the error previously. Okay, so there we go, and then run that twice. Okay, cool. Now we should have exactly what we wanted. According to the surname, I'm not going to say it because I'm going to say it wrong. Et al. 2023 AI is the future. So that's what the cite T looks like. We can also then have cite P, and I'll show you what cite P does. So that's when you don't necessarily want to refer to the author directly, but you want to attribute the information to somewhere or acknowledge that this information is not yours. So it's not your own original idea. So you could probably say something like, many authors, or let's say in recent publications, many authors have said that AI is the future. So here we haven't directly, it's automatically predicting that, which is nice. So we haven't directly said these guys did it. We sort of, I don't want to use the word paraphrase, but let's say we paraphrase it, and then we just want to say, okay, this is where we got our information from. Now, because I haven't added anything to the bibliography, I don't need to do that whole sequence again. I can just run the normal PDF LaTeX. And in this case, you'll see, so firstly, we've cite P is for quite a cool word, actually. Let's see, I saw it here in the documentation earlier. Parenthetical. I think that's for parentheses, but it kind of feels like I'm talking about my parents. Parenthetical. Anyway, so the parenthetical way puts parentheses around it. So you can see in recent publications when authors have said AI is the future, and then I attribute it to these authors. Now, often you'll have, like I've said here, many authors, and this is just sort of one. So I've got, I went and just, where is it here? Googled, is AI the future? IEEE. So IEEE Explorer's got an article on this, and we can just cite this. And in this case, we want BibTeX. I'll just copy that out and then go paste that in here. Again, you see it's given some random number, which is not helpful. Hopefully, there we go. It's surname and year. In this case, I'm also going to take away the keywords. Just clean that up. Cool. I can save that. Now this is now a different author, so what I can do in here is I can say comma these guys, and then now when I do it again, I first just do the normal PDF LaTeX. I can then run BibTeX and then PDF LaTeX twice. And now we have, so automatically you can see in our references both have been populated, and we can see, oops, and we can see that it's put the first sort of article that we cited, and then the second one in as well. Now you can also set it up so that you can, so that these are hyperlinked to your list of references. That helps out quite a bit. So when you've got a long 100-page document or whatever, and somebody wants to go and read further about this article, they can just literally click and it'll take them to your references at the specific place. Cool. So I think that's all I have prepared. You should, with this, be able to sort of do everything you need. So the custom bib file currently looks like this. If we had an article, it would be article or book or whatever it is, and then these would also probably change. So if it was book, there would be a book title as there is here for article. I mean in proceedings, and then volume, and then so on. So that's your bib file, and as you sort of write your lit review or whatever it is, you'll be building this over time, and this could become a couple 100-line document. And yeah, it's as easy as putting this in your document, and then whenever you cite somebody, either you cite T, cite P. Oh, and then I wanted to show you what the N is. So we had A, so let's just take a look at A. So we can see we've got two references here, ordered. I think it's ordered in by surname. I'm not sure, but here we have these two articles. You can see there's no sort of numbers. Now, as soon as we change this to N, now let me just quickly build that again. I probably have to run the bib file as well. There we go. We can see we now have numbers. So here it did not refer to the year, which was, what was that, 2023. So previously it had 2023. Here it says the surname, and 1 is the future. And then over here where I had those two publications, it doesn't anymore tell you surname and year, it just says 1, 2. So again, you'll have to decide on what you want to use, or maybe your faculty or supervisor will have a preference there. Cool. Hopefully this helps.